Get up. We showed you earlier Golden State's big comeback win. We also had the Sixers and Magic in the play-in yesterday. This is a 7-8 game, so winner goes on. And Tyrese Maxey put on a show last night. Iman Shumpert on both ends.
Floater. Oh, man, Tyrese Maxey has been playing exceptional all year, but last night to corral his guys without Joel Embiid was great to see.
That was Desmond Bane, who knocked in 34. He was the one Orlando player who really showed some fight late, but then here comes more Maxey Allen with the left hand.
Yeah, Maxey was fantastic, but on the note of the Magic, Desmond Bane was the only one that seemed to want to win this damn game.
Man.
I mean, seriously.
Man.
Look at Maxey with the defensive play on that end of the floor. 45 seconds left.
Great play.
Here will advance it to the Sixers, up by 9, looking to put it away. And, of course, it's going to be, who else? Andre Drummond.
Let's go, Dre! One time for the veteran guys! All the veterans are stepping up!
Dagger 3 from the big man. Sixers win it by a dozen. They move on to the first round to play the 76ers. Excuse me, they play the Celtics. Celtics a huge favorite, minus 900 at DraftKings. Boston's won 6 straight series against Philly, last losing in the 1982 conference finals. I think that was the legendary Beat LA series, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah.
This conjures up all kinds of memories. I mean, before we look ahead to, well, let's start with this. Iman, Paul George, last night, you were fired up to talk about what he did. Maxey was the lead dog last night for the Sixers to get out of the play-in, and now they'll get their shot at Boston, whatever chance we give them. But what did you think of Paul George last night?
I thought, for Paul George especially, just a story. We talk about stories all the time. Paul George is one of those guys that was talked about as if he was on the back end, and now he was on the decline. And then he had the injuries coming, and then he was in a spot where he didn't have to be the leader anymore. For him to come back and to step up and, one, play efficiently, but to make sure that every time these guys hit any type of a roadblock in these type of playoff situations and playoff atmospheres, he's there. He's knocking down shots. I got to see him not only ISO, but to ISO with his back to the basket, turn it into a back to the basket to a nice fadeaway and see the balance, see him talk a little trash out there, see him do the Paul George strongman walk. I'm like, man, it's back. And that's what you want to see. I did not have the Sixers doing what they did, and we'll get to you guys, Orlando, because y'all shouldn't have let that happen. But Joel Embiid going down, I thought would harm their morale a little bit more, and it was great to see those guys come together, especially to see a Paul George having a positive impact.
So look, I'm going to say this for the 9 billionth time. If Tyrese Maxey and Paul George and Joel Embiid are all healthy at the same time, what are the Sixers capable of?
Man.
That would presuppose Embiid being healthy after having the appendix removed, what is it, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Tim McMahon, is the expectation that Embiid is going to play against Boston?
I wouldn't say that's the expectation. His teammates were elated to see Joel Embiid on the bench last night. The fact he was able to show up to the game and in street clothes and support his team. The Sixers have not put any kind of definitive timeline on his return. Look, if Tyrese Maxey and Paul George and VJ Escom and those guys can steal a game or two earlier in the series, obviously that increases the odds that Embiid can come back. But I think we've got to temper expectations of Joel Embiid coming off of an appendectomy with a cape on to rescue the Sixers against a Celtics team that is clearly the favorite in the Eastern Conference.
And as we just showed you, a prohibitive favorite here. Now, for guys like you and me, we hear Sixers, Celtics, and we think of Moses Malone and Julius Erving and Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and those legendary series these teams have played over the years. This is not that. Do you give the Sixers, what's the word I'm looking, a puncher's chance? Anybody's chance?
Well, it's funny.
Can they make it a series?
In those past, Mark Ivoroni and Larry Bird, puncher's chances. They punched a lot in those series back then. So maybe that's what the Sixers have to bring. But without Embiid, I think that hurts because I don't know if the Celtics have anybody that can really work, deal with him. That's what puts them over the top. But without him, I don't think they'd really have a great chance. But it should be an entertaining series, though.
Okay, I'm going to give you 1 minute. I'm going to give Shump, 1 minute to unload on Orlando. You were disgusted with what you saw last night. You really wanted to get into this, so go ahead. Tell everybody what it is disappointed you so before I get to the Lakers.
Orlando, I just need y'all to have a little bit more care. Again, we work for ESPN. We work with Disney. It's Disney on my name tag. I would like for it to be a magical place. And when you go to Orlando right now, it don't seem so magical. You know, I want to be in the playoffs saying, hey, man, I got to go out to Orlando and cover that game. And I'm going to bring my kids because they want to go to Disney. But it's not seeming so magical. And I just want to see the magic happen. I didn't see huddles under the basket. I didn't see anybody showing accountability. I didn't see anybody getting each other's chests and say, hey, man, don't let them go by you no more. It's not happening no more. They don't have their guy, and we're going to win this game. And there was none of that. It was just a free-for-all. Me and you were just talking about it in the back. We couldn't even get ball screen coverage commands out there. We hearing it from the coach.
The only voice you heard defensively for the Magic was Jamal Mosley, the head coach.
That's crazy.
He was the one yelling out instructions. None of the players were doing it to
and go look around the league. You look around the league, in these playoff situations, play-in situations, you are seeing the rest of the bench is screaming, slamming on the floor, yelling, jumping up and down, reactions to every scored point. Where is it? Where's the camaraderie?
Charlotte's got to feel like they've got, right? Think about, like, with them, this is.
Right now, Orlando, y'all are 5 fingers, and you got to be a fist to hit anybody in this league. Okay? Don't stop slapping people.
I'm glad we got it in. They will play Charlotte for the right to play the 1 seed Detroit in the playoffs. I'm glad that you got that in. Well, let's go to the West because we got an old rivalry being renewed this coming week between those two legends. First time they met in the playoffs, the 2012 Finals. LeBron leading the Heat to a win over KD's Thunder in 5 games after dropping the opener of the series. Every meeting between these two has come in the NBA Finals. 5 years later, 2017, LeBron and the Cavs, KD in his first season with the Warriors, KD getting revenge. 4-1, the Warriors win it, KD's first championship, and then they would meet again in the finals the next year, and again it was the Warriors, this time in a 4-game sweep. KD was the finals MVP again. LeBron averaged 34 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds. A month later, LeBron was a Laker. And so now they will meet all these years later in the NBA's first round. But I think we can all say this might be the last time that we see it. So the world is not going to give, we just showed you the prohibitive favorites that Boston are. The world is going to give the Lakers no chance to win this series. And by the world, I mean all of us, including me. But Tim, let's do it. If they're going to shock the world, if the Lakers are going to stun everybody and find a way to win this series, how is it going to happen?
Well, LeBron James has to, have a time machine, basically. It's got to be the LeBron that we saw on some of those teams in Cleveland, that there wasn't a lot of talent around him. And he's putting up 35, 12, and 10, those type of games. Now, the NBA, they tried to help out. This schedule's got a few pockets of 2 or 3 days of rest in between games, but this has got to be – and then DeAndre Ayton's got to show up. He's got to be the player that he thinks he is. He's got to be dominating. He's got to win the matchup with Alperen Şengün, and I got to tell you, that sounds like a pretty good recipe for the Lakers to be let down.
And why are you laughing?
He going off his tattoo, man. He's killing me. He's killing me every time.
But LeBron, but let's not even think about who's going to have to be his running mate. I mean, who's going to have to do it? LeBron. I'm not even worried about LeBron. I'm going to say LeBron's going to show up and do
especially
whatever.
Game 1.
He's going to do as much as any 41-year-old in the history of the league has ever done in anything. But who's going to help him?
I think all of them are going to help in different ways. But I think the thing that they need to focus on, and it's what we focused on as the Cavaliers when we were banged up and we still were going far, and people like Bron taking just anybody to the finals. It's like the cool thing about that is when you're on a team with somebody like that can transform and do as many things as a LeBron can, your job is not to say, hey, our guys aren't in right now. I need to now transform and create opportunities for everybody. It's like, no, I need to stay within my role, and I need to say, hey, now Bron's going to have more possessions. He doesn't necessarily have to turn the hands of time back and say, hey, man, I got to be more athletic and do all the other things. He doesn't have to do that. He can still just take it calmly off a ball screen, and you go under because you don't respect it.
We saw him do it recently.
Exactly.
Triple-double. Like, we know he can do it, especially with a week's rest. What they need is J.J. Redick.
There we go.
To me, that's the most important second person with the Lakers is J.J. Redick, because he's done a great job this year coaching. He's not getting enough credit. But also, he has to devise a 3-and-D plan for at least game one, knowing LeBron's going to have probably the most in his battery for game one. And have his guys. You've got Hachimura. You've got Vanderbilt. You've got Marcus Smart. You've got guys that can defend and hit threes.
Yeah.
And you have the centerpiece in LeBron. That's the way. Keep it close. We know Houston has struggled sometimes in crunch time. And see if you can steal at home a game one to extend the series.
If y'all could get it to the last couple of minutes.
Big J.J. Redick game one.
Get it to the last couple of minutes, it could be a game. But if you can't get it there with Houston, it is going to be over.
And is there any chance whatsoever if they can extend the series they get